So today we're going to dig into a story about how one family took a really traditional, centuries-old industry and just completely flipped it on its head, all through pure innovation. We're talking about camellia oil and a revolution that started right in the heart of Taiwan. It's a fantastic story about challenging what everyone thought they knew.
All right, first, let's start with a number that's, well, it's kind of hard to believe. A single family business controls a staggering 2/3 of Taiwan's entire plant oil market. 2/3. That's the kind of number that just makes you stop and ask,
Yeah, who could possibly be behind an operation that massive? Well, the answer is a story that spans 3 generations of the Chen family, a family that literally rewrote the rules of an ancient craft. So, where does this all start? Well, like a lot of great stories, it begins with tradition. We have to go back over 40 years, to the family patriarch, Chen Youlun, who first started the business. Back then, camellia oil was a local thing, for sure. But he had let's call it a major perception problem.
You see, for most people, the words camellia oil pretty much meant one thing: a bitter, kind of harsh taste. This was just the common knowledge of the time, an accepted fact that kept it from ever becoming a mainstream product. And that was the challenge that would define this family's entire future.
and that is where the second generation, Chen Youlun, steps onto the scene. He looked at those tea seeds and saw this incredible potential locked away. And he just knew, that to unlock it, he had to break from tradition and kickstart a full-blown modernization revolution.
Okay, so this is where the real genius is. Just look at the difference here. The old way, you'd just mix all the different seed varieties together, leave them at room temperature, and then blast them with high heat to press out the oil. The result? You guessed it, inconsistent and usually bitter. But Chen Youlun's method was completely different. He insisted on sun-drying the seeds and then, this is the key, storing them in freezers at -20 Celsius to lock in all that freshness. Then he used a low-temperature press to preserve all the delicate flavors.
And the result of all that work? I mean, it wasn't just an improvement, it was a total transformation. Suddenly, camellia oil wasn't bitter anymore. People were describing it as having a sweet and mellow aftertaste. They didn't just make better oil, they gave it a whole new identity.
So what was their big secret? It was a simple but revolutionary change in philosophy. They started treating tea seeds the same way a master winemaker treats fine grapes. Instead of just mushing everything together, they began classifying and pressing oils based on the specific variety of the tea seed. This let them highlight all the unique aromas and flavor profiles of each one. It was absolutely brilliant.
But here's the thing, this innovation wasn't just about the product. It was about building a sustainable, successful business model around it. They created a system that controlled quality from the farm all the way to the bottle, and in the end, it led them to the highest possible recognition. What they did was build what's called a vertically integrated system. Basically, they control everything, from start to finish. It all begins with their own organic farm. Then it expands out through contracts with local growers. From there, it flows through a state-of-the-art modern production facility, and it all ends with what they call experience marketing, where they actually educate consumers directly and just let the incredible quality of the oil speak for itself.
And you gotta love this part. It wasn't just about their own bottom line. By creating contracts with 80 local farmers, they built a powerful community, they guaranteed themselves a stable supply of top-notch seeds, and they ended up lifting the entire local farming economy. Everybody won.
Now, when you do all that, when you innovate, build a community, and create an amazing product, people are going to notice. And in Taiwan, the absolute highest honor you can get in agriculture is something called the Shennong Prize. Think of it like the Oscars for the farming world. It's a huge deal. And yep, you guessed it, in 2019, they took it home. The Shennong Prize was the ultimate validation of everything they had worked for. It was official proof that they had truly, completely revolutionized their industry.
But the story doesn't stop with a single award. See, the real strength of the Chen family business is built on a foundation of legacy, with each generation adding a new, crucial layer to what came before.
I mean, just look at how this dynasty was built. It's almost like a perfect 3-act play. First, you have the founder, Chen Youlun, who laid all the groundwork. Then comes the innovator, Chen Youlun, who engineered the technical and quality revolution. And now, the third generation, Chen Tengyu, is taking the reins as the marketer, whose job is to bring this incredible product and story to the whole world. It's a perfect blend of tradition, innovation, and modern outreach. You know, the Chen family story is such a powerful reminder that the way things have always been done isn't always the best way. They took a product that everyone knew was bitter and proved it could be sweet, which kind of leaves us with one final thought. What piece of common knowledge in your world, your job, your hobby, whatever, is just sitting there waiting for someone like you to come along and prove it completely wrong?